Taylor. He videos a lot of the backwoods dealers' hunts. And I called him. I was like, hey man, can you come in a day early and let's see if we can't shoot this big sucker. But this is probably one of my favorite sets on the place. It's the first lock-on set I hung last year whenever we got this piece of property. And it was straight off a hunt stand. Looked at the map. There was a big body of water that you could tell on the map stopped, and then it started back about 80 yards down there and went for half a mile. So we walked in here and looked at it, and what it is a big beaver dam, and these deer going from the food plots over here to food plots out on the main road. This is the only place to cross the canal. I mean, it is, if there was ever an X on the map, this is it. This is actually where Larry McCoy called his deer in from the other side last year. Came across swimming, and he shot him out here. But not ideal conditions. 70 degrees this morning. It's been 7 days straight of highs in the 80s. But it is December 28th. And they have got to rut. So we're still getting pictures, shooters, mouth hanging out. I mean, they're still going. A lot of nighttime, but there are some daylight walkers. Here we go. Secret plot slew. Hunting the deer from last year called Texas Lane 8. But he is a 9. Let's go. Deer coming across the ditch right here. Coming straight to us. Spike. Here he comes, going right through the gap. We get one of them big ones to do that, we're gonna be in the chips. Always good first deer in the morning. Read the script. Comes a buck crossing the ditch right here. Looks like a shooter 8. I don't recognize him, but it's a shooter. Let's go into that scrape. Bristled up. Another buck on the other side of the ditch. That's our boy, Big 9. The one on the other side of the ditch. He pushed that other buck. 60 out there. He's gonna push that other buck off and go up. Look it. He's gonna do it. Here he comes. He's swinging wild. Yeah. Shot earlier. sounded like you hit it, but I couldn't see it on the screen. I mean, he was just going around that corner. Ranged that tree at 47. And I thought he was just right there at the tree. We watched it back. I mean, he's 3 to 4 yards behind the tree and it just fell out. I do everything the same though. I mean, what a unbelievable. 75 degrees right now. December the 28th at the testing grounds, and I just swung and missed at a stud. A little different than what we thought. Got down after we shot, thought 100% miss, and got down here to look for my air, couldn't find it. Got to right here where he went across the ditch. Maxima Reds broke 2 places here, and the assailant is still in it. And I could see blood where he went across the creek. I don't know what we saw. When we watched it back, we thought, it missed, and then we videoed it to send out to the guys, and I slow-moed it. I was like, man, it kind of looked like it hit him. And sure enough, we got blood right here, broken arrow, broadhead still in it. But I do not feel great about, I feel good about the shot, but you would think it's either a touch low or, could be in the heart maybe, with that much blood. I don't know. I think what we're going to do is just back out, go back to the camp, watch the footage. And in Mississippi you can blood trail with dogs. And being a deer like this, and testing grounds and all the water, and I may just come back and just put a dog on. Because I walked to right there, and there's a lot of blood, which my gut is bust in there, because it was enough blood that he could be dead. But given what I saw when I shot, I just don't feel like, I don't feel comfortable about it. Well, we did exactly what we talked about. We backed out. Of course, we don't watch the footage now 500 times, and it definitely hit him, but it was right and left looks really good, but height, it definitely looks on the low side. So we did exactly what we talked about. We called Chris, because that's what Chris does, trains blood dogs, and he had sold one, but he didn't currently have a blood dog that was his. He had some clients' dogs, but he had some good buddies. Called them, and anyway, we got in touch with a guy by the name of Chad Smith with the Mississippi Blood Trailing Services. And Mr. Chad was nice enough. He was at a dealership buying his wife a car, and he said, as soon as I get done, I'm coming to the testing grounds and we're going to try to go find him. But it could be right in the heart after looking at the shot, or it's on the low side. So we're going to play it safe. It's legal in Mississippi to run blood dogs, and we feel like in this situation the most ethical thing to do is let the dog do what the dog does. But Mr. Chad's fixing to pull in a gate. I've never met him, but reputation of him and his dog Si sounds promising. So hopefully we got a chance. I'm sick to my stomach at the moment. Moment of truth here. We shot probably 60 yards right there in that set this morning, and whenever we found the air, I tipped up and there was blood everywhere, basically leading right to this road, and we don't know from there. But that's when we figured out from a miss to we got a lot of blood and can't figure out where we hit it. But this is Bart Chancellor, Mr. Chad Smith, and then actually a buddy I went to high school with, Trey Whitehead. But they done a lot of tracks. They know what they're doing. But
that Mississippi Blood trailing services is unbelievable. Bails a lot of bow hunters, gun hunters, bails out a lot of Mississippi hunters. But it may hopefully go straight to him, and he's not much further than right here, but we may be in on a, dogs may end up baying him. We don't know. We're going to try to show it as close to the truth as what happens. We dig, the dogs just bark. He's not dead, unfortunately, but they are on him. Part of it, bow hunting. Game of inches, literally 2 inches. He'd have been right there. I don't know anything else that we could have done. I think we played it right. That's a hard, cold truth, I guess, of bow hunting, is you're gonna lose some if you do it enough. And it sucks every time. But, I mean, I thought I missed him. Get down there and there's blood everywhere. Feel pretty good about it, but looking at the blood, so you call the dog. It had been, I think it's been 6-7 hours before they got here with the dogs. They're headed to another track now, but it's, we did see the deer whenever he jumped up actually towards what we call Persimmon Ditch, and the dog started heading towards like our shady patch area, and which is totally opposite direction of where the deer was this morning. But anyway, we tried to get in front of the dogs to figure out, listen to them come to us. Deer jumps out in the middle of the road, looks at us, stomps his foot, blows, and takes off running. And we could see it plain as day. There's a hole. Left and right was good, but it's probably 2 inches below his heart and probably 1 inch above the hairline. I mean, anyway, the Bart and Chad, they track 100 deer a year with their group and their blood dogs. And he looked dead at me. He said, "Buddy, we're not going to get that deer. He's going to live." And actually told me majority of the time, 10 to 14 days after running a dog on them, they'll probably come back to a feeder. But I ain't going to bank on that. Just the deer's 100% fine from what it looks like. He's going to be sore, but anyway, sucks. It's hard to tell which way the wind is. Man, we have had so many good hunts here at the testing grounds and gotten so close. But when we went to bow hunting, it is, I mean, it's a game of inches. Literally just trying to get one inside that 40-yard range is a total different game. It's been fun. Frustrating, but fun. Hopefully today's the day.
see me or no? Dude, that's the same deer I shot 14 days ago. I mean, it was 53 again. I mean, I couldn't tell anything. I felt good about it. I mean, I watched the nocturnal and it was going just perfect. I mean, dude, I heard a bunch of rustling and then nothing. We might have the big 9 down, dude. 53 yards. I mean, I settled it, kept holding it, and then boom. And felt good. I think he dropped a little bit. It looked like it could have been high, but
We're back on the road. He crossed it. There he is. Dude, buck down.
Fine.
He made it just on the other side of the road. Look at the body.
You got no rack on
Look at the body.
it. You center punching, Cody. That is a giant.
Holy smokes,
Goodness
fellas.
gracious, Cody. Dang. I didn't realize he was that big. Get down there and pick him up. Get him out of the bushes.
I'm in absolute shock.
I'm gonna get these bushes out of the way.
What a
Giant.
testing grounds giant.
Man, Cody, that is awesome. That is a
Look at that
giant.
assailant.
Perfect hole. That's why you thought you didn't get a lot of penetration. It caught that shoulder. Look at the tines on this dude. You sold us the other day.
I told you.
When you shot him the first time, you said he is a giant. You're right too.
And I know we talked about it, like, man, what if he showed back up and what, you know, the story and all that. But
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, it was not any equipment on the first shot.
No, you just shot a little bit low.
I hit him right here across. There's no vitals.
Yeah.
I don't care what broadhead you shoot. If you don't hit vitals, you can't kill a deer.
Nope.
It was on me.
Hey, you remember them old Rambo movies?
Yeah.
The tips he had, that'd have killed him, but that's
Yeah.
the only one that's on the air that would have killed him.
But I'm telling you, you put it where it's supposed to be, and there ain't no broadhead I'd rather have tipped
No.
than that assailant.
Nope.
On an absolute
Stud.
Mississippi
Good gracious.
stud.
Well,
There is nothing prettier than a food plot here at the testing grounds in January and watching a big mature deer like that come out.
Yep.
I told you.
And sitting there looking at a giant up and comer.
Oh, no doubt.
That's like.
When you talk about the plan worked, we let a 150-inch 4-year-old go.
Yeah.
And I don't know how big this is, but he's big
Yeah.
and he is old.
Yeah.
And if Larry Mack.
Come on in here, Larry.
Dude, this
You called
bloke-
me on that when you shot him the first time. I was like, man, it looked a little low. And then you called me back, heartbroken like anybody
Yeah.
would be.
Yeah.
But when you said you shot him tonight and called me, I was like,
When he showed back up today, I told Cody, I said, every time the wind's right, you got to hunt there because he's coming. I
Yep.
said, he's hurt. He ain't thinking about rutting no more. All he's thinking about is getting some nourishment.
I mean, it is. I've always heard of stories like that,
Yeah.
but it's 14 days to the day I shot him 14 mornings ago.
Yeah.
And he showed back up last night at 1:15, and this afternoon comes out there eating.
Yeah. Before dark.
I mean, a second shot at a testing
And-
grounds giant.
It's hunting. I mean, a lot of people, they won't show where you shot him the first time.
Yeah.
But it happens. If you bow hunt, it's going to happen. It's not.
I thought
it's
I
happened to
missed
me.
him.
It
You know,
happens to everybody.
Exactly.
I mean, if somebody tells you they hadn't lost a deer with a bow, they lying. But
that's the most unfortunate thing about
it
bow
is.
hunting.
Yep.
It is. And it's nothing
It's-
that you done except for just shot
It's
a
not
little bit low.
it's not a pretty truth, man. But
No.
it is unbelievable what these deer, how they can survive.
Meant to be.
Fellas, that is by far my biggest Mississippi bow kill ever.
Yep.
Last year was my biggest buck ever with a muzzleloader.
You on a roll in Mississippi, I'm going to go on and say.
Hunt information brought to you by SCI, First for Hunters.